Thank
S. What everybody knows, you have 5 minutes per round. We're doing 10 rounds. Hold on, everybody. Hold on, everyone, please. We have 10 rounds, 5 minutes each. And I will give out a 30-second warning. 30 seconds before each 5-minute round. And then at 5 minutes, I will say rotate. Before we start, I want to give these winemakers a little love. So, table number 1, Mullen Road Cellars. Are you back there? Yeah. Table number 2, Woodward Canyon Winery. Let's hear a cheer. Table number 3, Reininger. Table number 4, Armstrong Family Winery. Table number 5, Lake Cold, number 41. Table number 6, Otis Kenyon, who we heard from this morning. Table number 7, Tortulia Cellars. Table number 8, Missouri Wine and Grape Board. Where are you? Table number 9, Troon. Table number 10, Brooks Wines. Table number 11, Mansion Creek Cellars. Table number 12, Dunham Cellars. Table number 13, DAMA Wines. Dama Wines, it's capitalized. Table number 14, Precept Wine. Where are you? Table number 14, where are you? Let's hear a cheer for them. Table number 15, Rodney Strong. Table number 16, Fullerton. Nice job, table number 16. Table number 17, Anavi. Table number 18, Gino Cuneo Cellars. Table number 19, Lucen Brothers. Nice. Table number 20, Brookwalter Winery. Table number 21, Frank Family Vineyards. Table number 22, Legend. Table number 23, Ian J. Gallo. Table number 24, Mary Hill. Where are you? Table number 24.
I don't want to know.
Remember, if you're using the Delectable app, you can. All of these are listed on that app. All of the wines, and if you take photos of the wine bottle with the Delectable app, you can share it on other social media. But you all hopefully will ask them first question, what's your social media handle? On your marks, get set, go!
Awesome. Okay, so the reason that I'm here on behalf of Uruguay is I'm a wine journalist and I live in South America. So I'm going to take you 5 minutes to teach you about Uruguay's wine and Tanat. Have you tried? 2.5 minutes. Is that it? Have you tried much Tanat?
Yes.
Okay.
From Texas.
Perfect.
We love Tanat.
So this is, as you know, about the variety then, and the reason it does so well in Uruguay is that it's Atlantic climate, so very different to the other wine regions in South America.
So Uruguay is right down by Argentina and...
If you've got, let's say South America, you've got Argentina and you've got Brazil. Uruguay is here in the middle. So it's a very protected Atlantic climate, quite mild, and that gives you really good options to ripen the wines, but also you maintain freshness. But the tannins of this Tanat, if you want to try it, we poured you, there we go.
sorry.
The tannins of this, I mean, you know Tanat is generally a very tannic variety.
It's very light tannin.
But yeah, this is very smooth. The producer here, De Luca, is 3rd generation, and Rinaldo De Luca is the winemaker. His daughter Agostina is now taking over. And he's Italian of heritage, which is very common in Uruguay. They're mainly of Spanish descent, Italian descent, and they bring a lot of their European heritage grapes. So he also has Sangiovese, Nero di Avola, but he's quite a kind of French-style winemaker. So much of his winemaking is very much in that traditional kind of French garagiste style. So very kind of homemade, like handcrafted wines. He's got several hectares just around his house, his property. So less than 12, and he's in one of the most traditional regions of Uruguay's wine regions, which is Canelones. Canelones, just one N. Canelones, it's probably on the bottom actually, if you want to have a look. No T, it's just C-A-N. Yeah, super. And this is his Tanat, which is obviously the emblematic variety of Uruguay, but in this case, you know, this is De Luca style, so it's quite different to some of the other styles, but I like this one because I think it's got that kind of old world sensibility, but still that kind of soft fruit from the new ones, which you tend to get.
Okay, I like that.
What do you think?
I loved it, and this is the first time I've seen Tanat outside of Texas.
Super!
Right, so it's like, it was amazing.
Well, Uruguay is definitely the biggest producer of Tanat worldwide. They have far more planted than anywhere else in the world. It came over to Uruguay in the 1870s by Pascal Arriague, and actually for over a century they called Tanat Arriague rather than Tanat. It's only recently, since they've started exporting, that they have started calling it Tanat.
Oh, wow, excellent.
This one's about $15–16, so I think it's a really great value.
So who's the winemaker again?
Ronaldo de Luca.
Ronaldo
De Luca. So De Luca is the family name, and Ronaldo is the winemaker.
And his daughter's taking over now.
Yes, Agostina.
Agostina.
They're a wonderful family. You can check out their website, which is also De Luca Wines.
Okay.
I'll also give you my card, where you'll be able to find on my website some information about them and the winery.
Okay.
Super. And we'd love to get a picture with you for De Luca to know that you've tasted his wine. So Holly, would you take a picture?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, let me hold up De Luca.
Ready? And hold up the wine. Okay. Wait, ready? Wait, I didn't get the flag. Hold on.
Almost as many times as we needed. Awesome.
Okay, it's going to be tough to do that at every table.
I know. I'm taking advantage. You're the best table to start with, actually.
Yes.
A nice welcome start. Awesome.
That's a nice picture as well. I like that. Good job.
Good. Thanks. I tried.
And
I
who
just
are you?
looked up. I have a blog called Wine Not Wine.
Oh, okay.
I have 3 kids, so I blog about parenting and wine.
Nice.
As one should, you know.
Absolutely one should.
So, and I know Amanda, so I'm helping her for her.
And you're from South America, you said?
Yeah, I live in Argentina, in fact, which is next door to Uruguay, but I've been going
30
every year
seconds
to Uruguay
warning.
since 2000.
Well, don't pick up the Argentine habits.
Okay.
What was that?
Don't pick up the Argentine habits.
I know,
They're
yeah.
very,
Yeah, we've talked about this.
Yes, I have a friend from Argentina. So.
Oh yeah, okay, you can say it then.
You can say it, yeah.
Awesome.
No, but it's great. Where do you live?
Norman, Oklahoma. You don't know anything about
No,
Norman, Oklahoma.
I'm in New York, but I was raised in California.
You live in New York?
Rotate. Wineries, rotate to the next table. That's the end of the
Thank you
first
very much.
round.
So nice to meet you. Matt, we love this wine.
Yeah. Just making sure I've got it right.
Okay, man.
I'm just
Take
gonna
your
sit down
time.
with you, Tom.
It's just me and you.
Yep. Fullerton Wines, the Willamette Valley producer.
I have to. I may have had this one already.
They're probably not this exact wine. You may have had Fullerton before. This was just released a few weeks ago.
Oh.
100 cases, and there's only 10 left, and we saved one of the 10 for this event right here.
Excellent.
So you may have tasted our wines, but quite likely not this. Yes. 100 cases total production. So the Fullerton family started making wine in 2012.
2012?
We only made 300 cases that year. We've grown to 5,000 cases with distribution in about 15 states at this point. I'm cellar hand door winemaker, communications manager, Midwest sales. You wear many hats when you're small, which is one of the things I love. I was the first employee outside of the Fullerton family here.
You're the first employee outside
First
the family?
employee, yep. The basement, the office is the basement of the family home. Yep. We make 8 Pinot Noirs. This is the only Pinot Noir we make that's 100% destemmed. So we don't put any whole clusters in this wine. It's all destemmed fruit. Very pure. The fruit is so beautiful, which the Dundee Hills is known for, kind of its sexy silkiness, that we didn't want any of the stems to get in the way, bringing kind of like a rustic herbal edge to the wine. We didn't want that in this.
And that's the 2000.
This is 16.
16,
Yep.
okay.
2016.
Pinot Noir.
Our winemaker Alex Fullerton cut his teeth with Lynn Penner-Ash at Penner-Ash Wine Cellars, then moved over with Josh Bergstrom of Bergstrom Wines. Then went to New Zealand, picked up his viticulture analogy degree, and then launched Fullerton Wines in 2012 with his parents.
Oh, okay.
It's just mom, dad, son is winemaker, 30 years old, pretty young winemaker. I think you're going to hear more about him in the future. He's got some serious talent.
What's his name again?
Bella Vita Vineyard.
No, the winemaker.
Alex Fullerton.
Alex Fullerton. Okay.
Alex Fullerton. Yeah, he's 30 years old. I think you'll hear more about him. One of the things I love about Fullerton Wines is that we make single vineyards in all 6 of the sub-AVAs. So, Dundee Hills, Yosemite Hills, Chehalem Mountains, Yamhill Carlton, McMinnville. We can taste all of those alongside each other in our tasting room.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
My wife had to leave to buy something.
Yeah.
She's going to be kicking herself.
Well,
This is
write
great
this down too.
Pinot Noir.
Come to room 3002
Room 3.
tonight after the dinners. I have a suite. I'll have about 6 wines open, and we can talk more. And I can pour this for your wife. Swing by.
She's gonna love that.
Swing by.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we can talk more then. And in terms of it's at Fullerton Wines for Twitter handle,
Thank you,
Instagram
thank you.
handle, at Fullerton Wines, hashtag Fullerton Wines also works.
Yes, I think I went through everything and I marked them down. So let me just go with so it is okay. Fullerton Wines on all media.
Yes,
Perfect.
yeah, all media. You got it. You got it. Yeah, and this is the room number again. There's some information about that tasting. That's my personal there. Here's my Fullerton card here.
Excellent. And you're the
Yes, I'm on both sides. I write for Growler Magazine out of Minneapolis. I write on my own website, and I work full time for.
so out of
Fullerton family.
Minneapolis.
I just moved back to Minneapolis,
Oh, you
and
did?
they've kept me on full time. Communications,
We lived in
sales.
Minnesota for 12 years.
Oh yeah, where at?
10 years in Apple Valley.
Yeah, I have an
And
uncle
then,
there.
And the last 2 years in Duluth.
Okay,
That's why we moved.
it's cold. It's cold country up there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah,
This is absolutely delicious. Okay, we will be there.
Please
at 10 o'clock.
swing by after whenever the dinners finish up. I don't know exactly when my group will get back, but I'll be up there as soon as I'm.
We'll be the ones sitting outside the door.
Okay, sounds great. Sounds great. Where do you live now if you're not in
No,
Minnesota?
I'm in Oklahoma. We're now Sooner fans. Yeah, I had no conditions for where we moved until I moved to Norman, Oklahoma. Then I told my wife, I don't want to move any place where it's cold.
Yeah.
Okay?
Duluth will do that.
30-second warning.
So is this your first time at one of these events?
New York.
Oh, you went to New York?
I went to New York.
Wasn't
Were
that
you there?
great? Oh, yeah.
Yes, yes.
I love that.
Yep, that was right. I had launched Wagon Wine in 2014. I won a scholarship. They have scholarships for new writers. They brought me out there on scholarship.
Excellent. Okay. Well,
So that was
good
my
luck.
first writers conference.
You're doing a good job.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I respect this family immensely. I was a high school English teacher. They poached me out of teaching. I was writing about wine on the side.
Winemakers,
I believe in what they're doing.
head
They're
to the
doing
next
stuff.
table now.
You all by yourself?
I am. You better not screw it up there.
Tom, Joe, come on, man. So, hi, I'm Jeff, the drunken cyclist.
Where's your bicycle?
Upshot Wines, 2016, a blend of 5 grapes, 37% Zinfandel, 30% Merlot, is that next? Malbec.
Malbec.
Malbec's next, 27 Merlot, and then 3 of Petit Verdot and Riesling. So you get a little bit of white wine in there. 12,000, just over 12,000 cases made out of 860,000 cases that, you don't care what I'm saying.
I am. I do, absolutely.
Running strong, 55 years old, is the 13th.
Who's the winemaker?
Jason Seinfeld. Justin Seinfeld, I think.
Seidenfeld. Okay.
So the head winemaker is Rick Sayre, who's been there since 1979. The winery was sold in 1989 to the Klein family. They've owned it since then.
Rick Sayre?
What's that?
What's his last name?
Sayre, S-A-Y-R-E. He's the head winemaker.
Okay.
So Justin's been there, I think, about 12 years. I think something like that.
Okay. Okay.
Did everybody just freak out when they saw you and left?
Yeah, well, we only had half a table, and then my wife had to go, and then everybody else, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they don't like me. I figure it'd be easier for me,
Yeah.
except I haven't got one Twitter yet. I haven't tweeted out anything yet. I hate these things. Why are you doing this?
Chris O'Gorman is the Chief Communications Officer at, I think that's his title, at Running Strong.
Okay.
His wife had to have kind of emergency knee replacement surgery.
Oh, okay.
And so I told him I was going to be up here, and I knew his wines were already up here, and he'd already paid for the tasting. I said, I'll do it. I'll try not to screw it up. So he said, great. So we're buddies. We go back a few years. So
What should I be looking at this?
what's that?
Oh, hello. You got it already?
And then there were two.
And then there are two.
Is that you, Mickey?
Like it. No, this one. Oh, this one here. This one here.
So 2016 Upshot, it's a blend of 5 different Sonoma County varieties, 37% Zinfandel, 33 Malbec, I always get that screwed up, 30 Malbec, 27 Merlot, and then 3 of Petit Verdot and 3 of Riesling.
I like this one.
Yeah, I've been real happy with it.
The Pinot just before you from Oregon.
Oh, yeah, I tried his wines out there. Really nice. Really nice. He's having a party tonight in 3002. Do you know about mine?
No.
7005.
I like the glass.
Oh,
Well, since I've seen them.
so people are bringing, I put it on the Facebook page, and there's going to be a lot
We
of
were
wine.
going to bring Oklahoma wines, but we did not want to bring down the level of
Well, there's
quality.
Missouri wines, and it was so
Some of the
weird.
Missouri wines are good.
Was it good, the Chambersin? Because I really want to, because I've never had a good Chambersin. But I went over to talk to her, and she's like, she's my biggest fan.
Is she?
And she,
And that's-
she's going,
Oh, that's right.
It was nice,
And
like-
she's the nicest person.
so I'll have to, even if I hate her, I'll have to pretend I like her.
No, you don't have to. Because it's going to be good.
So, I didn't say hashtag RS Vineyards.
Thank you.
Hashtag Upshot Wines. That's also the Twitter and the Instagram.
RS Wine.
handles.
Let me just validate that. Hold it.
I can't screw up. I went to the
30
wrong
second
table.
warning.
I started pouring at the wrong table. Friggin' rookie.
Hey,
I was like, oh, it looks like it's on grocery
You've
store
always
over there.
been on the other side of this, you see.
thank you.
Well, thank you guys.
Bye.
Okay, so that's.
You move to somebody else's table.
I don't like people. Yeah.
You're making a...
And I got personal attention here. RS Wine.
$55.
That's it?
Rotate. Winemakers rotate. That's 3 rounds down, 7 rounds to go.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going good. How are you doing?
Living the dream.
Okay.
Have you guys done this before?
Yes.
It's my first time. I'm going to tell stories about this. I've already seen such a thing. So this is our 2015 Brown Family Cabernet Franc.
Yeah.
It's 100% Cabernet Franc. And over there.
I love the label. So cool. Yeah, it's so simple.
We laughed so hard, because we started from just cab producer first in 2015.
Yeah.
2016, just a cab producer. 2017, we introduced a Chardonnay, and we're sitting there going, brown Chardonnay, it just doesn't sound right.
Right.
And
Right.
And we laughed pretty hard. The owner didn't think it was as funny as we did, but we thought it was funny. But the cool thing about this all comes from right here in Walla Walla, from our state vineyard. So we have it's technically Waitsburg, but right behind us are the Blue Mountains or the Palouse, and so we're right there at the base of the Palouse, and it's really cool. There's not, I don't I'm sure there is. I don't know of any other Cab Francs, varietal Cab Francs. There's Cab Franc here. I don't know anybody else is doing them. I'm sure somebody is, but Cab Franc's it's an industry wine. People that chefs and restaurateurs and winemakers, everybody loves Cab Franc that's in the industry. It doesn't do great on the shelves, but it kills for like industry people. So we only make 500 cases of this. It's for our wine club people and for pretty much for our wine club people.
Okay. And who are you?
I'm John Freeman. I'm the winemaker.
John.
Yeah.
What's your last name?
Freeman.
Freeman. Okay.
Yeah. And so I'm the only winemaker who's ever been for Brown family because Andrew bought the winery I was working at.
Oh, there you go.
So it's like he's like, I want a label. I go, what are you gonna do? Of course you get a label.
Excellent.
So yeah.
Do you happen to know your hashtags and all that?
I asked for that. You were the best. Thank you. I just asked somebody about that.
Okay.
And they didn't respond to me because
I will find it. I will find it. Yeah.
I honestly, that's something I probably should have known. But it's a generational thing. I missed the boat. My kids are all over that stuff, and they're really good at it.
You should text your kids to send you your hashtags.
They would do it. My kids said it my Facebook, like to set up Facebook, and then they'll bug me. They'll go, Dad, you don't post anything on Facebook, and I don't know what my password is, And so they'll send me the password,
Oh, wow.
And hopefully post stuff for me.
Yes,
So,
excellent. Do you know who Jeff is?
never met him before.
He's the drunken cyclist.
I knew the label. He was standing next to me over there.
Yeah.
I honestly never even heard of that label before.
Not the label. That's his title, his blog.
Oh my
That's
God.
what?
Yeah, so
Oh my God.
the winemaker, the distributor that's supposed to be doing this, his wife is having surgery or something, so he said, I'll do it for you.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Oh
he's
my
a
God.
blogger.
That is funny as hell.
Isn't it though?
Oh my God. I wonder if I could get away with the drunken winemaker.
Oh,
I'm
there
gonna
you
steal
go.
it.
What a great title.
That would be awesome.
Drunken
I
winemaker.
heard somebody say, but isn't the label called Drunken Cyclist or something? Isn't the label called Drunken Cyclist? The bottle, the label?
Oh no. His
I don't know.
The one he's doing right now is Upshot. He's not a winemaker. He's just
That is funny stuff because I heard somebody say that the Drunken Cyclist. I thought that was the name of the label. I didn't
No,
know that.
not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his blog.
That is freaking awesome.
He's the neatest dude, though.
I need that would be cool to have a title like. I bet you he's got a Twitter account.
Oh yes,
You
yes.
know he does.
His blogs are really funny.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And he's into high quality wines and everything like that. So if you get a chance, you just sit down and chat with him.
I'm sure he's crossed paths with our wineries before. It's so funny. Brown Family's kind of this is our small little, really, really high-end winery. Our winery, our company is gigantic, and so we have all kinds of different tiers of wines and stuff. So
Okay.
I'm sure he's visited us.
So how much is this bottle retail?
I think it's $26, but I
Okay.
don't know that for a fact.
Close enough.
If you're a winemaker, you don't have to pay for wine. So it's just like, it's all free, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's why you call it a drunken winemaker.
I tell you what, it would stick. That's what my friends call me. So I just don't have. I just need to get a social media account.
There you go.
And then I'm good to go.
And then let everybody else post on it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Rotate.
Cheers.
Nice
Four
meeting you,
down,
John.
6 to go.
So what's going on with him?
All right. I'm following you, so don't get lost.
Oh, Dama Wines.
Hello. How are you two?
We're doing great. How are you?
Awesome. So, Dama Wines, obviously. I'm Mary Derby, one of the owners, winemaker. Is there only two of you?
Yes.
You're married to what? What's that? I'm married Derby.
He just need one.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm married to her.
Oh, perfect. So,
I forgot your name already.
Derby.
Derby.
Yes, Mary.
Derby.
Mary Derby.
Mary Derby.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
I started Dama in 2007. It is all, Dama means lady or woman in Spanish. It's all female owned and operated. I do have a couple guys that do work with me, so never fear. I do love my man. We're a small boutique winery. I make my wine at Artifacts, which is a co-op here that houses about 15 different wineries. What you're tasting here is a Merlot blend. It's 69 Merlot, 28 Cab, and 5% Cab Franc. And so all of that is from Golden Ridge Vineyard, which is kind of going east on Highway 12 past the airport. And it's the first vineyards on the left-hand side if you're like maybe 2-3 miles. It's about a 10, maybe a 12-year-old vineyard now, 15-year-old vineyard. And then the Cab Franc is from XL Vineyard, which is near Seven Hills. So you kind of really get two different areas of Walla Walla. What I love about this, it's very bright. I mean, the acidity is just it just dances on your palate. It has some good structure to it. The tannins are there, but it's not overwhelmingly.
So who's the winemaker?
I am. So I'm one of the owners and I'm winemaker. So Artifacts is a co-op, as I said, and it's its own business. It has its own crew, but we're all responsible for bringing in our own fruit, our barrels, responsible for our own wine. But I have we each kind of share the team of people there, and the crusher, destemmer, and such. But so then once it's in barrel, and when it's bottling time, they have their own bottling machine, so our bottling truck, and once that comes in, then bottled, then it's all out.
Okay.
So there's no storage, there's no tasting room there. It's just a facility for making wine.
Do you have a tasting room here in town?
I do. My tasting room's downtown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now when you say downtown, it's
on Main Street. I'm right on Main Street. I'm on 123 East Main Street.
And where are we? So that's like 2 or 3 blocks?
So we're on Rose and 2nd.
Okay.
So if you go up the street to Main Street and take a left.
Okay.
And then I'm past Macy's. I'm the block after Macy's, but across the street on the other side of the street from Macy's. So yeah, 123 East Main.
Okay.
How many products do you have?
My production is about 2,500 around there. So my 2 biggest wines are my
cases.
Yes. Yep. I do. Listen, I have a brand called Cowgirl Cab and Cowgirl Blanc, and those are my kind of distribution wines that get out there. And then all of my other smaller lots are about 300 cases, 400 cases, kind of around that range kind of thing. So, and those are the wines that I personally make at Artifacts. My Cowgirl wines, I buy. I'm a negotiant with that. I kind of work with Walouk Slope over at where's Walouk? Going towards the Seattle area.
Yep.
And so I've been working with them on my, picking out what I want to blend together. So that's a whole different production, if you will.
Right. So when you distribute the Cowgirl wines, is that like state into U.S. wide?
Those are more those are more statewide. Okay. Yeah. This is retails at 50, so I get a little bit distribution, but most of this goes to my club or people coming to the tasting room and such.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you. I hope you're enjoying your time here.
Quick.
Oh, yes.
I think I have you. Where are you?
Rotate.
Hey, Damon, I got
You are halfway done with live red wine blogging.
I haven't done anything yet.
Jeff, is pouring for somebody else's winery?
Yes, because that winemaker or whatever got his family was sick.
That's what I figured. He knows so many people out there.
It cost about $500 to come here.
And he already had paid it, and they couldn't come, and so
Jeff
said, I'll pour for you.
Oh,
That's nice.
so glad there's a small table. I haven't talked that intensely, that quickly in a long time. All right.
We expect the same. No, ready,
Here we go. Wine me up. 2014 vintage Cabernet Sauvignon from Dunham Cellars.
I love the label.
We are a winery here in Walla Walla, so you're in our home turf.
Okay.
In fact, we are currently in the room that I have my Rotary meetings at.
Excellent.
Which it's a little surreal to be in here talking fast and pouring wine. But this is, I'll give you both the bottle. This is 100% Cabernet Sauvignon. I'm going to sit down. 100% Cabernet Sauvignon, no blenders.
Okay.
2014 vintage. It has the XX on the label. It's our 20th vintage of Cabernet.
Oh, okay.
We started in 1995 with Roman numeral 1. At the time, we thought, kind of cool to put it on there, not realizing it made it somewhat of a collectible, because people don't want to miss a Roman numeral. And the first 3 vintages of Dunham, Roman numerals 1, 2, and 3, were all made at La Cole number 41. So Eric Dunham was the assistant winemaker at La Cole, our founding winemaker. And Marty Clubb, the owner of La Cole, let Eric make a few barrels off to the side of his own project, and that project became the inaugural vintages of Dunham Cellars. We only made Cabernet the first 3 years we were a winery.
So 1, 2, and 3 were Cabernet.
1, 2. Well, they're all Cabernet, but we make other wines now that do not have this distinction on them.
Gotcha. Okay. Excellent. I thought you had.
Oh, no.
So this is primarily estate fruit. So we have 2 estate vineyards, one in Walla Walla on the east side up Mill Creek called Kenny Hill. It's our newest vineyard site, planted in 2010. And then we have Lewis Estate Vineyard outside of Prosser on the, south end of the Yakima Valley. That vineyard began getting planted in the 90s. That's our oldest vineyard site. Those 2 vineyards supply about 80% of our fruit. They also supply about 80% of the fruit for this Cabernet.
Yakima or both of them?
Walla Walla and Yakima
So you take
combined.
grapes from both of those, Cabernet from both of those, and you blend them
Correct.
together. Okay.
And there's little pieces from a couple other sites in the Horse Heaven Hills AVA and the Walloop Slope AVA.
Okay.
We have our 2 estate vineyards, which we obviously love, and then we go through and try to find other little sites that we like that add character and dimension to the wine.
Okay.
13.8% alcohol. It's not a super high alcohol wine.
Oh, it's actually really tasty. I like this.
That's good.
And how long have you worked for them?
So it's my family's winery.
Okay.
My family's been involved since 2004. I've worked there since 2011.
Did I get your name?
John Blair.
John Blair.
BLAIR.
So did they buy out the winery at that
No,
point?
they are just partners with the Dunhams, with
Got
Dwayne
it.
Dunham.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. So they joined the Dunham team.
They joined the
at that
Dunhams,
point.
exactly. It's a good way of putting it. I like that.
That's nice.
Joined. Yeah.
We saw that a lot in Lodi.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you guys live in Lodi?
No, but we went there for one of the conferences, and
Couple of years ago.
that seemed to be.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
John Blair. So how long? So you grew up. When did you become partner?
2004.
2004.
But I did not start working in the business till 2011.
And what do you do for them?
I'm the president of the company.
Okay.
So I do all kinds of stuff.
Right.
I don't know what I do.
You package, you label, you sell.
We do a lot of things.
Yeah.
I make sure the gears are turning.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very
So
cool.
2004. So were you at the last WBC?
I wasn't. I moved here in 2011, so the last one was in 2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't.
And I don't know. I don't think I can't remember if we participated or not.
Okay.
I wasn't here, so I don't remember, but I don't think we did.
Were you in school until then?
I was in school at that time.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
But
30-second
I was
warning.
a grad school student.
Okay.
I graduated from college here in Walla Walla in 2002.
Okay. Excellent.
Good for you. Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for being a nice, calm table.
I know. This is so
Have fun.
hectic.
It is.
Yes.
It is. It goes by fast.
It
Yeah,
does.
it does.
Well, I haven't tweeted out one thing yet.
Pardon?
I haven't tweeted out one thing.
Well, you got time.
Well, I have time later. Nice meeting you.
Rotate to the next table.
Thanks. I know, right? He needs that.
It is that.
I have a new case I have to fill up.
Exactly.
It has 12 holes in it. At Mark Ryan, they said, you need to come back and taste our wine.
Oh.
Yeah, she really wanted
Do we have another intimate table?
Yes, we do.
Love it.
Hey, look at all the wine we have.
Okay.
Oh, you guys. So,
Can you hold on?
yeah.
United Smile?
Usually not. Not a smiler. I'm a grinner.
You're a grinner.
Yeah, right?
Good enough. Oh, go ahead.
So, before I get into the wine, definitely smell it. This will be a varietal that you will not have had all weekend, nor will you have for the remainder of the weekend. But before we get into the wine, let's get into what Mansion Creek Cellars is. We were started in 2006 by my mother, who you can see in that flamenco dress right up there. So that's my mom.
Yeah.
So Mama Julia started this in 2006. Yeah. We took over, my wife and I, about a year and a half ago. So we're now the owner and the winemaker. This is one of the first wines that I developed. We're from Spain, so I'm a big believer in Iberian varietals. What we have here in Red Dog is 70% Tinta Cao. Tinta, Tinta, Cao. Tinta Cao.
Okay.
So it's a Portuguese varietal, usually made for port. Some use it for dry red wine. They usually don't use it as in the volumes that I do, because the yield is half per acre. So it is one of the most expensive juices to do. And not only that, but there isn't very many plantings of it.
Sure.
Right now, I mean, there's plenty of Cab and Syrah and Petit Bordeaux.
And you grow this here.
So I lease it from a vineyard on Red Mountain.
Right, but somebody grows it here then. That's fine.
So we do these. We also do stuff like Touriga Nacional.
It just smells so
the Tinta Cao Movedra, Sazao, Tempranillo.
You say Touriga Nacional. Which one is it?
Touriga Nacional.
Touriga, okay.
Yeah, so that's another one.
So that's a Portuguese or the
Yes, Portuguese.
Okay.
Yep.
Smells so good.
Right? How about some rose petals?
Sweetie. It's just, it wants you to drink it, but like I said, I'm kind of almost afraid to, because you know how sometimes in the palate it's just so different than what your nose expects. So.
But that's the most fun.
It smells so good.
That's the most fun.
It does smell good. Is it 100% that tea grape?
70%.
70%.
And 30% Cab Sauv.
Okay. Now, what does the Cab add?
Pardon me?
What does the Cab add?
So the Cab actually adds, especially on the back end. It's the structure that you need for it. If it was just 100% Tinta Cao, your mouth would just be this big pucker. It still kind of is, but it adds. If it was just Tinta Cao, it would be. So the Cab, I was actually going to make it more Tinta Cao, but I had to go away from that because I knew that my consumer it would almost scare them. It would be too
now
different.
You got me really curious.
It would be too different.
Yeah.
But the Cab adds that balance. It's that nice kind of blanket that you have, that you're familiar with. But this is all about Tinta Cao. That's what Red Dog is really all about, is to show that. But you should be getting those nice rose petal floral notes on the nose, the leather, the canned green olives, Spanish green olives in the mid.
It almost has some kind of cocoa going on in there at the end.
30-second warning.
And so this is a wine that's very, very young. It tastes great now. It smells great. This is the kind of wine that you want to get and you actually want to lay down.
I forgot your name. Can you tell me again?
Denny Russell.
Denny.
Can we get that in town? Do you have a tasting room in town?
In the Marcus Whitman.
And what's your name?
Oh, here?
Yes. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
And you're Tessa. Yes. Perfect.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you, Denny.
Thank you. Thank you.
Rotate.
Yeah, thank you.
Winemakers, that's 7 rounds down, 3 to go.
That was
My favorite so far.
Muy bien.
Hello.
Hi, Lauren. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Great. Thank you.
Good. So this is Rastavan. It's our estate fruit. It's our estate fruit from Brooks Estate. We're located in Eola Amity in the Willamette Valley in Oregon. We focus on Pinot Noir and Riesling and biodynamics. We make about 20,000 cases annually. This has about 500 cases made at $60. It's our most expensive wine. We focus on affordability. It is fruit from just our estate vineyard. So that is own-rooted vines. Pomard from 73 and 74. 777 from 1977. And
Chardonnay, not Riesling, is in here also?
Well, it's grafted Chardonnay vines to Pinot Noir.
Okay.
So it's not technically oat-rooted.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Chardonnay was oat-rooted.
Right,
but we
right.
grafted it to Pinot in the 90s.
But is this 100% Pinot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's 20% new French oak for 18 months. It's native yeast. The winery was founded by Jimmy Brooks in 1998.
What's his name again?
Jimmy.
Jimmy?
Jimmy, yeah.
Brooks, okay.
J-I-M-I.
J-I-M-I.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Female?
male.
Male.
And he spent about a decade in Europe. Sorry. That's okay. He spent about a decade in Beaujolais and Alsace making wine.
Okay.
And when he met a Polish woman, she became pregnant. They moved back to the United States, back to this area where he's from. And then he got divorced. And he was the assistant winemaker at Willackenzie. And
At where?
Willackenzie. And the founding winemaker of Mesara. And he was making Brooks on the side. And then he died pretty suddenly in his 30s.
Oh, wow.
And the winery went to his 8-year-old.
Lord.
So, who is technically the owner. Pascal is 21 now. And Jimmy's sister has been running the winery for Pascal since. Janie Brooks.
Jane?
J-A-N-I-I-E. Janie.
Oh. Janie.
Yeah.
Brooks.
Girl or a guy?
Sister. I understand that one.
That one is a legit question.
Yes,
Right?
Janie is a lady. A lovely lady. And Jimmy's assistant winemaker has been our winemaker since.
He's very white.
So who's the winemaker?
Chris Williams.
Chris?
And who are you?
Lauren Williams.
Okay. And what do you do with the winery?
I do anything that they need me to do.
So you work there full time?
Yeah. Full time. Over full time.
Over full time.
Twice.
So over full time. Over.
I hope you're having fun because
Fine.
Don't blog that.
I'm gonna blog.
My boss won't kill me.
Over full
She's
time.
gonna read all of it. We're too small.
Who's your boss?
I'm not gonna tell you.
I was sent it directly to her.
sister-in-law
You are
kind of
working her too hard.
No, I love it. It's not even really work. You can say over. I don't know.
you can
You're
say
the
she
vlogger.
loves her
You think of
job.
it.
Okay, over full time.
Yeah, I do education for the winery, but long format tastings, taking out the trap, like anything, conferences, whatever needs to be done. So this is about
30-second
$60 retail, and we make 500 cases of it.
500?
Yes,
Not 5,000, sorry.
500
But 20,000 cases total.
roughly. It changes, yeah.
Wow, this chocolate in this?
Yeah, I got some some cocoa on it.
This is delicious.
I'm glad you like it.
Rotate.
It's
Thank
easy
you, Lauren.
drinking.
That is 8 rounds down, 2 rounds to go.
I only missed 3 rounds with my little excursion.
Less? I think I only missed 2.
Something like that.
Oh, this is awesome. I can sit down.
Yes, you can.
Everybody likes
Hi,
our
how are
table.
you?
How are you?
I'm
Who are
Craig.
you pouring for?
Craig, we met before.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Micah. Nice to see you.
Okay, let's get the obligatories out of the way.
This one,
Okay. Safe paper.
Thank you.
I'm going to go for one of these waters.
So what are we doing here?
Oregon wine.
Troon Vineyards. Okay.
So, Troon Vineyard, I'm in Southern Oregon.
Yep.
About an hour from California. My voice is
Craig,
going.
you're really with Troon? I didn't know that. I've seen your name. Well, I've seen your name forever, but I didn't know you were with the vineyard.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, another Tanat. I tasted a Tanat from Uruguay.
Oh,
This Tanat is popping up
Okay, so
everywhere.
we're at 1,400 feet up in the mountains, Siskiyou Mountains. I do everything naturally. It's natural winemaking, so only grapes go in the fermenter. I use no yeast. Everything's crushed by foot for ultra gentle processing. I use no new oak. So the only thing in there is grapes.
You use no oak, you said?
No new oak.
No new oak.
I'm like, what? Okay.
Yeah. So this is a co-ferment, which is really important to me as compared to blending. The blocks are next to each other, they're picked together and fermented together. And in effect, you're almost creating a new variety because you're putting two wines with two grapes with different chemistries into the same fermenter, and it alters the way the fermentation proceeds. I also make a Tanat and Malbec as single varietals, and I can do exactly the same blend, and the wines don't taste anything alike.
So this has Tanat and Merlot.
Malbec.
Malbec. Tanat and Malbec. Ooh,
Fermented together.
Fermented together.
So under 100% biodynamic farming.
So the both sets of grapes are in the same tank fermenting.
Yeah.
So you may have said about why is this better or different from blending, basically?
Well, you ever had a blend and you taste it 1 month and it tastes like one variety, 2 months later it tastes like the other varieties? This never tastes like this. It's like you've created a totally new, unique variety.
Okay.
Where did the name Troon come from?
Dick Troon was the original farmer that planted the area.
Okay. And how long have you owned the...
We took it over in 2014 and converted it over to this new style of winemaking. So we get a very different growing season because at the longest day of the year, we're getting 70 minutes more sunshine than Napa gets. But my season's much shorter, so that helps me catch up and ripen the fruit. But at this time of year, it gets much shorter. So you, what happens is shorter days, then less hours of sunlight slows sugar accumulation, preserves acidity, but it's still warm, so flavor still develops. So you get richly flavored wines with moderate alcohol and high acid.
Okay. This is really tasty. Cuvée Pyrénées.
Yeah, and so the Pyrenees Mountains is the home of where Tanat and Malbec come from.
Oh.
So it's southwest France.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the two great red varieties of the region, and this is a homage to its home.
So is Tanat, is that varietal common in Oregon and Northeast?
Yeah, right.
What we did is, I've done a lot of soil studies and climate studies, and then you write out a graph and say what does great in this environment. And instead of saying, oh, I want to make Pinot Noir, say what does well, because it's really interesting soils, because we don't have any volcanic soils. The mountains around us,
30
out in the ocean, and they were jammed into the coast by the tectonic plates. So I have strips of granite, strips of river sediment, and strips of ocean sediment, all in the same vineyard, and they create a different, totally unique growing area.
The other vineyards around your area, do they also plant other varietals besides Pinot?
There are some Pinot, but
it's other
Pinot around us tastes like it's from California. So why do that?
And where is this in relation to, on the map, in relation to Willamette?
We're south.
Rotate,
we're in California. I live an hour from California.
Your 10th and final round.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now we can relax.
Guess who you get for your last one?
This is so cool. I just told Mike, now we can relax. It's the last
I know.
one. Who are you again now?
My name is Sheila.
Sheila?
Yes.
It's an Irish name. This is so cool. You just need one.
No, yeah, true. Do you want another winery guide? You already have one. Okay.
No, we got one.
Here's a bottle for photos, although you probably already have pictures of it. So I don't know how much of the history history I told you about Stone Hill?
I don't remember.
Stone Hill?
I've slept since then, so you just go for it.
All right, well, it opened in 1847, quickly grew to become the second largest winery in the nation, because Missouri was the second largest wine producing state in the country at that time as well.
Okay.
They started sending wines to the World's Fair. So in Vienna, in the 1870s, they were winning gold medals with their wines. Now we all know what happened in 1919 with Prohibition. So they have the largest series of arched underground cellars in the nation. And at that time, they converted their cellars to growing mushrooms. And they continued to grow mushrooms in the cellars until 1965. I look horrible today. Don't take my picture. What?
Mushrooms?
Yes, they grew mushrooms. They had a steam engine come.
That's so cute. I just say you got up work and these are scrubs.
Yeah, exactly. The steam engines would pump that steam into the cellars and create that moist, warm environment for the mushrooms to grow. So in 1965, Jim and Betty Held purchased the property and restored it back to a winery. And their son, John, currently owns and operates the winery today. The Norton, you guys had the Norton?
Yes.
So we deported it last year, and it won, the Triple Crown, Best Dry Red, Best Varietal, and the Governor's Cup for Best Wine. This one did too. Let's see, what do you not know about Chamberson? French American Hybrid.
Well, Jeff wants to taste it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to tell you.
Okay.
Jeff Prelude.
Okay. I'll have it afterwards. And actually, are you guys flying?
Are we?
Are you flying home?
Yeah.
Well, I have some extra. I have some other stuff too.
Oh, that you have to get rid of or you have to take it back?
I have a lot.
Oh, okay.
We
And
can't
I
help
just
you.
happened to buy a taste.
Yes. Come see me.
So Jeff has a party in room 7005.
7005.
Have a note on him. So write it down.
Okay.
And you can bring some of this to his party.
Yeah,
Because he's got high-end wine.
7005.
Seriously.
He's got a lot of contacts, a really good blog.
Is that a pill for you?
No, it was sitting here already.
Oh, well, let's dump it because we don't like pills anywhere. So dump it in the bucket. There you go. Someone lost it.
Yep.
And there's another party at 3002. And that has what you like Pinot Noir.
What is that?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what that is.
Fullerton. Fullerton wines. There we
Are
go.
they open to people bringing other wines in?
Well, he definitely is. I don't know
Jeff
about this one, but this one absolutely.
Okay.
That's what the whole point of it is.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Jeff is.
Yeah, and he already said he wants to taste your wine.
And he said he's going to lie to you through his teeth that he loves it.
So you.
But I told him you don't have to.
I'm going to give you guys 2 bottles, so if I don't make it to that room, is it after dinner tonight?
It's about 10 o'clock.
Sometime.
Okay, 10 o'clock.
Between 10 and midnight. So
Okay.
come
It'll be
anytime.
later.
Okay.
What room are you in case we need to find you?
212, right off the elevator.
We're 218.
Oh, really?
Right down the road from you.
Yeah. I'm worried because we're supposed to board at 5:15 and the buses leave at 5:15.
30 seconds.
How am I getting all my
warning
wine
to
into my
the end
room?
of live wine vlogging.
You think it'll be safe?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just say, can you please throw it down there?
Underneath the table?
No, you just give it to the bell hop.
Well, wait,
Okay.
this is it right here,
Yeah.
right?
Is this it?
It's only 4:45.
Well, but they are wanting us to pour outside for the next half hour. And the buses leave right after that.
They want up. Oh, you did.
Yeah. So, you want a bottle now? Just take that one.
Oh, okay. Why did you open them all?
Why do I have them all open? Because they told us we'd be pouring a full case. So,
Okay, that's the end of live wine vlogging, everybody.
Take it tonight. It'll be gone.
Nice job. Winemakers, how'd you find it?
how about it?
Let's give those winemakers another round of applause.
I'm glad you guys were my last table.
how did you like this?
It was really fun.
Was it?
I think you need two people.
Quiet for 1 minute so I can tell you what is happening today and tomorrow.
Everybody else is like
One to pour, one to talk, one to go around and hand out pieces of paper.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back out to my station, but I'll see you guys later.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Quiet everybody for 1 minute, please. If your neighbor's talking, please nudge them in the ribs. Anybody doing that? So, first of all, if you have lost your glasses with some yellow and black designs on them, come and get them from up here afterwards. And there's still the tasting notes book, green, that was left last night. Tomorrow, we are starting again bright and early for wine bloggers at 9 o'clock a.m. in here with an hour discussion with two imported Australians talking about WBC 19 in
End of red wine blogging.
So that's tomorrow at 9.
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 Wine blogging.